Hi, everyone, from the crap part of Soho. Rog, Davo, the men in blazers. Hello, New Zealand, the Philippines, and Taiwan. So we are now 16/38 of the way through the Premier League season. That reduces Rog to 8/19 by the end of the Christmas period. We're going to be more than halfway through. The Premier League table has a familiar feel to it right now, Rog.
It does. The petro-fuel teams are rising to the top. Ones that are running on fumes and romance, going rapidly in the other direction. This is a weekend when many teams won 3 points, but really didn't impress, even though the scorelines kind of suggest they did. None more than Manchester United 3, Liverpool 0.
Well, that was the big game of the weekend. Two teams who properly hate each other, Rog. And Man United's first goal was sort of symptomatic of the entire game. Liverpool breaking through. Raheem Sterling on goal, hits it right at De Gea. He did that multiple times during the game in a very Arsenal-y fashion. They managed to then concede a goal from their own penalty area.
Yes,
Rog.
they do. Tony Valencia surrounded by 3 Liverpool defenders.
Yeah.
We got it. What can go wrong now?
Yeah.
The answer is everything. He breaks through like a Harry Houdini-esque character.
Yes.
Wayne Rooney doesn't miss from there, particularly when an Australian.
Yes.
The Australian Brad Jones is in goal, the master of diving in the opposite direction of the ball.
Yeah.
Liverpool it got even worse before half-time. Juan Mata, all 5'7", of him heading home from an offside position.
Juan Mata heading home.
Yeah, it is embarrassing. It was from an offside position, but you don't really let that tiny little imp score of his noggin.
Even from an offside position, without a doubt.
And the amazing story of the game was Robin van Persie added a third. It was 3-0, but the star of the game was David De Gea. 9 saves, many of them miraculous, many of them against Mario Balotelli. One of the worst kind of cavalry is coming rescues since Scatman Carruthers in The Shining. And that was it. So you could say Liverpool, honestly, they could have scored 5 goals. The fact is they didn't. And the big question is, are United now legitimate title winners? Or is this the worst 6-game winning consecutive streak in Premier League history?
Yeah, well, they sit just 5 points out of second place Man City. That's just 8 points behind Chelsea, Rog. And you feel that they're in there. They're in with a shout. Yes, not a great performance when the man of your match in a 3-0 win is your goalkeeper. There's something not quite right.
Well, it's not just him. The defence is not good. The midfield still seems bereft. For me, this was a case
but it builds
of
confidence.
United crap, Liverpool much crapper. I feel for Brendan Rodgers, manager of the year 8 months ago. Now everything around him has turned to ashes in his mouth.
You're right.
But United, interesting winnable games for the next 7. What they do in the transfer window could be definitive.
Yeah, definitely could be. Okay, Rog, the second big game of the weekend. Another big lopsided result. Arsenal 4, Newcastle 1. This game down in London. Newcastle, by the way, coming off a great win against Chelsea at St James's Park last weekend, kind of fell back down to earth this weekend against Arsenal.
Not a good weekend for Newcastle, nor a good weekend for Arsenal fans who had banners saying Arsene Wenger out. They look terrific. The meaty French forehead of Olivier Giroud, the meaty French left foot of Olivier Giroud, and Santi Cazorla, a very naughty penalty against poor, young, innocent, bereft, lost goalkeeper. Cheeky little chip, almost child abuse.
Or against Jack Alnwick, right, making his 1.5th appearance in the Premier League.
Those two men, Wenger and Pardew, few men in football know better than they do. There's a thin line between love and hate, David.
Other games, Rog. Chelsea 2, Hull 0. Man City eked out a 1-0 win against Leicester City. Neither of them very convincing performances. Chelsea doing what they always do. They get a goal ahead. They sort of cruise. The crowd get on them. They manage to find a second goal, and then it's just all relaxation. Eden Hazard scored with his head, Rog.
And the storyline of the weekend in terms of Chelsea scorers is Frank Lampard.
I know.
He is the man again, week in, week out, who is keeping his new men who he rides with, Manchester City, on the tail of Chelsea. Will they catch him? There's 87 games in 4 days over the Christmas period for each team. We will find out a lot more in the next kind of 20 days, David.
That is very true. 4 games for each Premier League team over the Christmas period. When we come back at the beginning of January, we are going to know a lot more.
We wish all of you in your respective countries happiness and health over the holiday period. We raise your glass in your general direction, and we can't wait to see how this all unravels in 2015.
And enjoy the warm weather.